Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So just 3 months ago, I posted a similar video like this talking about the Alpine divorce. Well, there's another young lady who has experienced it, and she came out to share her story in a way, because there was a lot of people asking questions in the comment section, and she decided to answer some of the questions or respond to some of the questions they were asking. So let's get into her video of how this guy left her on a hike.
Pro tip, never go hiking with a man. Never go hiking with a man. They basically just stranded me. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just following a path. I don't even know if this is the right path. There's so many, but we walked for at least 2 hours to get here. So it's about another 2 hours back. Okay, I feel I should start with I'm alive. Well would be a stretch, but I'm alive, which is all that matters in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna make this video because I want to answer everybody's questions on what happened to me the other day, because I know a lot of people are concerned and there are also a lot of people that are angry at me. My most asked question is, why would you go hiking with a man? My answer to that question is that I've known this man for 2 years and I trusted that man. I was naive enough to think that he just wanted to go on a hike and take me to this lookout spot that he liked. The next commonly asked question is, why did you make a TikTok? Why didn't you phone the police instead? My phone was on 2% and I had 0 service. So in my head, I thought if I can at least make a video of myself out here and get a video of my surroundings, then if something happens, they can retrace my iCloud. I also really thought if I called the police, what if they don't find me and I use the last of my percent on relying on a service that I know has failed so many other people that have been in this situation? Another question I'm being asked is, did I report it? I am taking legal action slowly but surely. What I want you guys to remember is that this is my real life and I know this person in real life. Another comment I'm receiving a lot of is, what did I do for him to leave me? Just so you understand what happened. I needed to use the bathroom and we were in the middle of a mountain range, so I had to pop a squat. So I said, I need to use the bathroom, I'm gonna go behind this bush. And he said, yes, okay, I'll wait for you here. I walked about 10 meters away, 5 meters away, popped a squat maybe for 2 minutes. I stood up, pulled up my pants, looked around, and he was gone. Gone. But I was in a valley. I was in a divot of like a forest, okay, like a forest. There was nowhere for him to hide, nowhere for him to go. So when I stood up and saw he was gone, my thought was that like he dropped dead and he was on in the foliage, whatever the word is. And I didn't think he ran away until I started calling out his name and he wasn't responding. Another question is, did I call him? Yes, I called him. He didn't answer a single text, a single call. I requested his location, he didn't reply. And when I found him, he was sat on a log eating a sandwich. Another comment I'm receiving a lot of is, if you don't say something to the police and it happens to someone else, it's your fault. To be honest, I'm not sure what planet we live on for people to say that to someone that's just had a traumatizing experience. I'm sorry. I understand this can happen to other people, but it happened to me. Not a hypothetical, this happened to me. So yes, of course I wouldn't want it to happen to anyone else, but what you have to understand is everything is such a slow and lengthy process. Another comment that is happening a lot on here is drop his name and drop his face. If I drop his face and he's pissed off enough about it, imagine what could happen to me. And these are the real fucking thoughts I'm having. Like, these are real thoughts I'm having. And I want to touch base and say, I don't want this video to come across as rude, aggressive, ungrateful for anything. I'm so grateful for the amount of people that have texted me and reached out and shared their experiences and given me tips for when I do decide that I'm brave enough to go hiking again. But the sheer amount of comments and messages I've received from men telling me that this is my fault is absolutely insane. I understand that I'm partially at fault. I should not have trusted someone enough to do something like that. But again, What world do we live in where I can't do things with a person because of the fear that they might kill me or abandon me somewhere to die? Another and the last comment I'm gonna bring up is a reply that I made to a comment. I replied to a comment saying that I was selfish enough to believe that I'd be the exception. A lot of people are taking this comment the wrong way and thinking that I think I'm something of a superior to everybody else. That is not at all what I feel about myself. What I'm trying to say is the trust that I have for this person, I would have never expected me to be the person he did this to. I am an extremely headstrong, forward person. I'm the type of person that I would like to believe people wouldn't pick because of how vocal I am about things. I am so incredibly vocal. And that is a selfish thing to think. And that is what I'm apologizing for, because that was selfish of me to think. And I just have so much empathy for the people that this has happened to, because the amount of comments that I've received from people saying the same thing happened to them in different parts of the world, I don't want this to define me and define my page. Something I do want to say, and I can't stress enough. No, I'm not seeing him anymore. No, I will not see him anymore. Yes, he is blocked on my device. Yes, I am taking legal action. I want all the women watching to know that this is a common thing, and I didn't know that. I didn't know this was common, and I want you to know it's common now. Please don't go hiking with men. Don't go to places you don't know about with people you trust, people you don't trust. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. If anybody has any other questions they'd like to ask me, I'm happy to answer them on this in the comment section of this video. I'm traumatized. I'm fucking traumatized. That being said, if you're going hiking with someone, whether you trust them or not, please be equipped and prepared for the situation. And there are hundreds of women giving in-depth things of what you can do if you're in this situation. Please take note of them, whether that's just you flick through them. Just take note of it so that you know. I wish the best for everyone. Thank you everybody that's checked in on me. I appreciate it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, so social media, the questions are brutal. People coming for her are it's crazy. Some of the questions are insane, but I'm so happy that she's alive and she's safe and she's left him, which is a very big thing. She's no longer with him, and like she said in a story, there's so many layers to it. It's real life, and so things are not just ABC. There's so many aspects to it. There's so many layers to it. So she has to move according to how it works for her. And that's how these things usually go. When I posted that other video, which I'm going to add at the end of the video, if you've not seen that one, of this other young lady who was crying because the guy she went on a hike with left her. Yeah, I will add that towards the end. I remember seeing this guy, and this guy, he usually has some controversial takes on TikTok. He talks about a whole lot of things. I'm not going to insert his image. I don't care. I don't care about it. But I remember very well seeing, even this morning, I saw him again talking about now he has one more is it trick or something to use on women. Yeah, and there were people in the comment section telling him, are you serious? Like, why would you even say something like this? This is dangerous. Why would you even think about something like that? But the truth is, that is what is going to happen, because as so many women are coming out and sharing their experiences with some of these men and what they are doing to the women in their lives, there's going to be a lot of men who are going to become copycats, who are going to want to do what these men have done. Okay, so in as much as we are sharing our tips and we are learning from it, then there are so many men who are going to start doing this, who didn't know about it, who are going to start using this against the women in their lives. So it is going to be happening more than maybe it used to, because there will be so many men who will decide to do this to the women in their lives, the women that they do not want anymore, the women that they hate, and so on and so forth. So be very careful. Like she said, trust no one. Even the people you trust, don't trust them. Even the kindest, the kind-hearted, the person who has your back, says all the right things, you may never know. You may never know how they truly feel about you. So you have to be very, very vigilant when it comes to some of these things. But like I said before, I'm so happy that she's safe and she came out to share her story. So let's get in.
You don't know what an Alpine divorce is? So Alpine divorces are when men take their partners or their wives on hikes or like adventures outside deep into the wilderness and leave them there. That's an Alpine divorce. You ask why we don't like men, why we're so hard on you guys. That's just one example. A man will literally leave his pregnant wife because he doesn't like the way she looks anymore after he got her pregnant. Men literally assault women on the streets just for existing. Do we need more reasons?
Okay, men and males are two different things.
Don't piss me off.
You know,
they're not. They're not. They're not.
The term.
They're not.
The term.
They're not.
So
they're not.
So you think I'll leave you in the wilderness?
You might. You're a man. I don't put nothing past you.
Bye. Just bye.
Oh, see, look at you already about to leave me. Proving my point. Point proven.
I agree, especially after seeing this.
What would you have done if this happened to your friend? A Massachusetts woman met a guy on Instagram. She goes out to Arizona to visit him. They decided they would go on a hike on the famous Camelback Mountain, except it was brutally hot in Arizona in the summertime. She wasn't feeling well and apparently turned back, but he didn't. He left her, kept going. Turns out she never made it back to the car. When he called 911, police discovered her body. Police don't believe there's any foul play here, but should this have been attempted in the first place? What do you think?
And this.
An Austrian climber has been found guilty of manslaughter after leaving his girlfriend to freeze to death on the country's highest peak. A 37-year-old man who can't be named due to local privacy laws set out to climb Grossglockner Mountain in January last year with his partner. They ran into difficulties while trying to reach the summit as temperatures dropped to around -9 degrees Celsius. Webcam footage shows the pair scaling the mountain and him descending alone when he says he went to get help. She died of hypothermia 50 meters below the peak after he left her behind. The man pleaded not guilty and the judge agreed he hadn't willfully abandoned her, but he had misjudged the situation, got help too late and failed to take on leadership responsibility when he knew a lot more about mountaineering than his girlfriend. He was given a 5-month suspended prison sentence and was fined just over £8,000 for causing her death.
I'd avoid going on hiking dates, especially if you're very inexperienced, because it seems like men are taking advantage of women's lack of knowledge and experience when it comes to hiking, and they're bringing them on these dates and then leaving them behind with the hope that something bad is going to happen to them. This is being called an Alpine divorce, and it's something that a lot of women are opening up about and are saying has happened to them.
My boyfriend left me to die on top of a mountain peak. Welcome back to This Is Why I'm Single, where I read audible stories of senseless crimes that men commit against women and children in an effort to bring light to the femicide and homicide and domestic abuse and violence within our community. All right, let's go. You know I cuss a little bit. I have real-time reactions, so put your headphones in. Viewer discretion is advised. Listener discretion is advised, because some of these stories make me very angry. A 33-year-old woman who froze to death on Austria's highest peak has been remembered as a wonderful person as her boyfriend faces a manslaughter charge. Kirsten Guttner from Salzburg died while attempting to climb the 12,460-foot Grossglockner Mountain in January. She had set off with her boyfriend, Thomas Planberg, 39, who had been described as an experienced climber. The couple was just 165 feet from the summit when Kirsten began struggling and was unable to continue. Planberg allegedly left Kirsten alone for 6.5 hours to get help, but she froze to death in -4 degrees after being left, get this, unprotected, exhausted, hypothermic, and disoriented, the public prosecutor's office said. Eerie webcam footage captured lights from Kirsten and Planberg's glowing at around 6 p.m. on January 18th as they climbed the mountain. 6 hours later, the lights began to dim as they ran out of battery, and Kirsten was unable to go on. An image taken around 2:30 a.m. appeared to capture Planberg descending alone on the other side of Gross-Glockner. At approximately 2 a.m., the defendant left his girlfriend unprotected, exhausted, hypothermic, and disoriented about 50 meters below the summit. The woman froze to death, the public prosecutor said in a statement. Since the defendant, unlike his girlfriend, was already very experienced with Alpine high-altitude tours and had planned the tour, he was to be considered the responsible guide of the tour, the statement added. Footage captures early on January 19th showing a helicopter flying over the mountain during a rescue mission. Emergency responders were eventually able to reach Kirsten, but she was already dead. Planberg has been charged with manslaughter by gross negligence. Here's my question. Why would you leave her there? If she's disoriented, if she's hypothermic, if she is out of her mind, and she's cold, why would you leave her there? That is your girlfriend. Why would you leave your girlfriend to freeze on the side of the mountain? If I'm hiking with somebody I love, I don't care if I got to drag your ass down. I don't care if I have to put you on a sled or I have to figure out something, but I'm going to hitch you to me and we're going to figure it out. I'm not going to leave you on the side of a mountain to freeze to death. Kirsten, may you rest in peace. Ladies, do not trust these men. So let's talk about why he's being prosecuted. Starting the ascent 2 hours too late. Not carrying sufficient emergency equipment. Allowing his girlfriend to use a split board and snowboard soft boots, which are unsuitable for a high alpine tour in mixed terrain. Not turning back in time. Failing to make an emergency call in time before nightfall. Not giving a distress signal when a police helicopter flew over at about 10:50 p.m. Being unreachable to rescue services and putting his phone on silent. Failing to provide his girlfriend with a sheltered spot to protect her from heat loss. That man killed that girl. Ladies, don't trust these men. Don't go hiking with these men. Don't go do no crazy sports with these men. Don't be in the woods with these men. If these men want to do extreme shit, let them do it by themselves. You need to be around other people and civilization. Do not allow these men to take you off on these crazy safaris.
One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a solo traveler, as a woman who enjoys the outdoors, is going on an activity with a man that he knows how to do and you don't. I literally just sat up in bed to make this because I've been thinking about this Alpine divorce thing for months and just saw this great article that brought it back up. If you don't know, there's this guy who he has done this twice to two different women. He takes them on like a difficult hike and strands them basically. The first woman luckily survived, was able to make it back. The second woman sadly passed away, and that's basically how he got caught, that this is what he does. And it is like a troubling trend that apparently men do this. Instead of breaking up with you, they will literally strand you in the wilderness so that you can die of starvation, exposure, falling off a cliff, etc. But one of my rules made me realize, like, inherently for years, I've been following a rule as a woman who has been to over 50 countries. I do like national park road trips by myself. I do not do activities with a man that I don't already know how to do. Like, I'm a pretty like proficient like backpacker and camper and those kind of things. So I'm like, that I feel okay about. But if a man like was like, let's go ice climbing, let's go rock climbing, let's go traverse a glacier, let's go base jumping, let's do this thing that I know how to do, that I am skilled at, and you, if something happens, you don't have any sort of recourse or know how to do it, I'm not doing that activity. If I want to do that thing, if I want to try rock climbing or sailing or whatever, scuba diving, I'm going to pay a professional that has reviews, that has accountability to take me to do that thing. So I think some women think, I'm like, oh, it's like cheaper, it's budget. I'm like, I'm just going to find a guy, a local guy who knows how to do it. He'll take me. A local guy who's going to take me spearfishing. A local guy who's going to take me, this, that, and the other. And then you end up dead off the side of a cliff or drowned in the ocean because you trusted a man. I don't care. I don't care how long you've been together. This guy did it to multiple people. his, girlfriend, not a random stranger. I don't trust men to take me on activities where I am relying on them. I need to be able to rely on myself or a professional that is being held accountable. And that's just one of my rules. And this whole case has made me realize, oh, that's why this is one of my rules.
Some men do not have the patience to wait for years for their wife to die from the stress they've inflicted on them. So guess what they're doing? They're taking their wives to dangerous locations and they're leaving them there to die. They're taking them on hikes, they're taking them rock climbing, they're taking them out on lakes, and they're abandoning them, or they're letting them fall through a hole in a cave. That way the death does not look suspicious. The death is going to look accidental. One man went as far as taking out a life insurance policy on his wife 2 months before he pushed her off a cliff and called 911 and pretended that she fell. Luckily, investigators were able to connect the dots and realize that her death was not an accident. And this is so common that it's been given a term called Alpine divorce. This is nothing new. The first time this term was coined was back in the 1800s because men have been taking their wives out into the woods and leaving them there to die. Men have been taking their wives on hikes, taking them out on lakes, taking them mountain climbing, rock climbing, bungee jumping, and in other dangerous locations, and secretly plotting to end those women's lives. They believe that if nature does the work for them, they won't be held liable. They can pretend to be the grieving husband or the grieving boyfriend. They can cash in on their life insurance policy and move on to the next supply. Because that's what many of them have done. They've abandoned their first partner in the woods, claimed her death was an accident, then got married to someone else. And now in 2026, this term is trending all over again. And it's just another reminder to women to remain vigilant. Because some of these dangerous men are walking among us.
Pro tip, never go hiking with a man. Never go hiking with a man. They basically just stranded me. I don't even know where the fuck I am. I don't know where I'm going.
I know they made a term for this, but I don't know what it's called, but this happens a lot. And I agree 100%. Never, ever, ever go hiking with a man, okay? Especially in the beginning. Don't do it. I don't know why, but some guys are always asking women to go on hiking dates. I don't think that's a good idea. Men are very unsafe, okay? You don't want to be alone with one in the middle of nowhere. That's not going to be good. Let me tell you something. You have to be one terrible, disgusting human being to leave a woman out like that in the middle of nowhere. Like, she could lose her life because you did that. This is why we have a male loneliness epidemic, because y'all do stuff like this.
Because we don't normally see people coming out to share their story or their experience or maybe answer questions like she did. It's usually you see a clip of somebody who went somewhere or something happened to someone, you don't get any backstory. So I was so glad that she came back, and I saw this today. The first video happened like 5 days ago. She posted like 5 or 6 days ago, but just this morning I saw her updates and her answering the questions. So I'm so happy that I came across a video, and this is just to raise awareness again. Be very, very careful out there. You know, even the people that you trust, you have to be extra careful. And like one of the ladies said, do not go or do anything with a man who has more experience in that thing than you, because they will use it against you. You know, and I know she said if they invite you on a hike, I would say even parties, even going to the club, even traveling, so many things. If you see them so keen on it and so eager and wanting you to participate in it, there might be something behind. I'm not saying it's a one size fit all. There are some women who are in loving, caring relationships, healthy relationships with men who care about them, and they may want to surprise you and so on and so forth. But take Ashley Janae, is that what her name is? Who went on the trip, who got proposed to, and ended up losing her life. Yeah, take her story for instance. She probably thought nothing was going to happen, but she ended up losing her life. I don't know how that story ended. So even if it's going to be the most happiest day in your life and everything is going so well, sometimes they will play a game. They will play the game with you, pretend that they are in love. They'll stop doing all the things that they used to do before, They will stop it. They will stop doing all the things so that you don't suspect them. They were cheating, they will stop cheating. If they're going out a lot, they'll stop going out. They didn't cook, they will start cooking. Just to batter you up, just to get your guard down so they can execute whatever they want to do. So shine your eye well. Don't fall a victim, don't become a victim, because even the most kindest man can be your worst nightmare, your worst enemy. All right. So yeah, I didn't come here to talk too much. Let this be a tale of caution. Let this be a word to the wise, and I hope we all learn from it. And if I see more, I'm going to post it, because the truth of the matter is, in as much as you think, oh, everybody has heard about it, this is old news, everybody already knows about it, you'll be surprised the number of people who have never heard about it, who don't know about it, who may end up experiencing it because they didn't know. So yes, it's the same things over and over again, but it's the same things that these men are doing over and over again. They don't come up with new things. It's the same old, but it will rinse and repeat. That's what they do. Okay, so yeah, open your eyes, shine your eye. If you have to go with them, know more about what you're doing, find out more about the activity you're going to participate in, know more about where they are taking you, know more about their state of mind. And if they give you the slightest inkling that something is off, then something is off. Listen to it. Don't go. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you again in another one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.